Welcome back to the House of Floss and Fluff. My name is Carrie. Thank you guys for joining me for my 13th Flosstube video. Today is Saturday, December 30th, and I have been trying to record this video, I don't know, for over a week now. Every time I have sat down to record a video or thought about recording a video, something has happened. It's just that time of year. Anyway, so I hope everyone had a fantastic, wonderful Christmas. Here at the House and Floss Fluff, we had a very good Christmas. We did have some excitement the couple weeks before Christmas. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I posted a picture. My son and I spent an afternoon in the ER because he broke his left arm in two places. He broke both the ulna and the radius. He is doing very well though. Pretty much totally out of pain now, has full function in his left hand again. He's got the permanent cast on and it got wrapped in a blue wrap. So he's happy. His favorite color is blue too. So, well, he's not happy, but at least the cast looks pretty now, I guess. So yeah, that was not planned. Not planned at all. But he is doing much better, and I do appreciate everyone that commented on that post and sent me well wishes for my son. Thank you guys so much, and I really, really greatly appreciate it. So like I said, every time I sat down to record a video, I don't know, something happened. Or honestly, I was really tired. I don't know. I don't know if I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold or something, but I've just been really, really tired. So anyway, I've got lots to show you guys. I'm going to show you what I've been working on the last couple weeks, and then we're just going to do a brief little review of my stitching for 2017, and I'll share a few kind of rough outline plans that I have for the upcoming new year. Okay, so finishes. I have some things that I FFO'd since my last video, and the first one that I FFO'd, unfortunately, I don't have it with me. I sent it off to my grandma because it was a gift for her for Christmas. So I'm going to try, for the first time ever, I'm going to try and insert a photo here. Okay? I believe that my app that I use to edit my videos, it won't cover the whole screen, but it should pop up over here, I hope. So hopefully there will be a picture here of the FFO that I did for my grandma for Christmas. Okay? Now, if it didn't pop up, you can check it out on my Instagram at Crafting Paws, and I will put that across the screen below. And there is a picture of it there. But I guess I can show you what the pattern looked like. So this was the piece that I stitched for my grandma for Christmas, and I made it into a cube or a rectangle. It actually ended up looking like a rectangle. Now, I didn't use any of the called for colors. I didn't use called for fabric. I stitched mine on 14 count Aida that I dyed with coffee, and then the floss, which I did actually keep here. The floss was just a combination of things that I had on hand. They're all hand dyed. There's Gentle Arts, there's Color and Cotton, and there's some that I dyed myself. Okay? So hopefully, like I said, hopefully you guys got to see it. If not, you can check it out on Instagram. But my grandma received it. She loved it. So, yay, mission accomplished, right? All right. So then, I have enjoyed watching everyone either on Flosstube or posting pictures on Instagram of their Christmas decorations. So many people have so many wonderful stitched Christmas decorations. So I decided that I was going to try and stitch up some Christmas decorations. Now, I had all of the actual stitching done. I had stitched a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments like, I think 10, 12 years ago, but I didn't know what to do with them. And I didn't leave myself a whole lot of excess fabric for finishing. So what I ended up doing is making some little pillows. Because you guys know I've been obsessed this year with trying to learn how to make hand-stitched pillows. So these were the first three that I did. And I stitched these up like I normally do. And by the time I finished the third one of these, I was so tired of stitching little pillows. Okay. Because I could not get the finishing side to look nice. I don't know. It didn't matter what I did. If I did a whip stitch, I tried to do, was it a ladder stitch? You know, where you kind of stitch, it's in the invisible stitch. I think it's called a ladder stitch. Anyway, I couldn't get these to work right. So I honestly was like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to make pillows anymore. I was getting so frustrated. Well, then I remembered Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, and another designer that does punch needle designs, Doodle Dog Designs on Etsy. I've bought some of their punch needle. They also have a blog. They had talked about stitching up a pillow, or they have stitched up a pillow, and you stitch all 4 sides. And then to flip it, you just cut a little hole in the back here where you just cut into your fabric. You flip your pillow the right side, and then you stuff it, and then you just stitch on a little patch to cover the hole. And I love it. Look at how cute. Now I know my corners aren't perfectly square. I actually don't like my corners perfectly square. I kind of like them a little rounded, but I really like it. And I think it turned out really cute. Now I know the fabric has nothing to do with Christmas. My fabric supply is kind of limited, so I just went with what I had. I think it's pretty, but it worked out really well. So I like that. And then I did go ahead and I did a pillow ornament. Now this is the first time I've ever done a pillow ornament. And so I would definitely not do this part, meaning I would not do the ribbon on the outside. I will from now on tuck that in as I do my stitching around the seam, and I will put that inside. But I do like the little heart. I will say this end here, I didn't quite cut it quite big enough, so I'll have to watch that the next time. But I think it came out really cute for my first little pillow ornament. So those are my fully finished projects that I have, and then I have one other finish that I did, and this is by Primitive Acorns on Etsy, and that's the same shop that I got the pattern Snowy. I don't know if you can see up here, but it was the little bunny that I stitched. And see, how could I can't resist this. Come on. It's a mermaid in a Santa hat. I had to stitch it. So this is a really quick stitch. I think this took me, I don't know, maybe 2 days. It was very quick. But I love it. It came out really cool. Now, the cool thing about this is the fabric. So I've had several people ask me on Instagram where or how I made the fabric. Okay. I dyed the fabric myself, but you'll never guess what I used to dye this with. Alright, cocoa powder. That's right, I dyed my fabric with cocoa powder. So basically, I was looking for something to snack on one night, looking through my cupboard, and I came across a box of hot chocolate mix that I had purchased that I didn't care for. And so I mentioned to my husband, I'm like, I wonder if I could use that to dye fabric. And he's like, well, wouldn't that be sticky? I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's sweetener in there. That's not going to work. So I thought a little bit more on it, and I was like, well, what if I use cocoa powder? So I Googled it. I didn't find anything on using cocoa powder to dye fabric, but I did find where people use cocoa powder in a paste. It's mixed with a bunch of other ingredients, but cocoa powder is one of the main ingredients, and they use it to tint hair. So I was like, well, if you're using cocoa powder to tint hair, then you can obviously dye fabric with it. So I started with a couple scraps, and I didn't use a ton of cocoa powder in these first batches. I think I used like 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And all I did was get a pot of boiling water, nice boiled water, and threw in my cocoa powder and a little bit of salt, because I usually add salt to my dye anyway. And then I just let it sit for, these ones sat for 30 minutes in the cocoa powder mixture. And then I just put them on a baking sheet, and I baked them in my oven. My oven was set at 180 degrees, and I baked them in 10-minute intervals until I was happy with the color. And now this is the same piece. This is a little scrap piece that I had left over from my mermaid. This one I used a lot more cocoa powder. I think I used, I don't know, I want to say 5 or 6 tablespoons. I wouldn't do that again. I like the color, but it got a little thick on here. And so, like, there's some spots that got really, really thick. You can see here. I don't know if you can, that'll pick that up. But it will actually come off a little bit if you rub it. Now, I didn't have any problems while I was stitching this. Like, the color didn't come off in my hand or anything. I was able to stitch it, and you can see the white came out just fine. It didn't get on the fabric. Or, I mean, course it got on the fabric, but it didn't get on the thread or anything and change the color of the thread. So, you know, I don't know if I'd ever do it again using cocoa powder, but it was an experiment. It was fun. I stitched with the fabric. It was, you know, it was all good. Okay, so moving on from there, I have one new start, okay, sorry, I have stuff like everywhere. Okay, so my new start, I jumped on the stitching bandwagon and I started the Tiny Christmas Stitch Along by Armada Designs, which it is now complete. It was, I think she sent out the last piece of the Stitch Along on, was it the 23rd of December? I am up to day 7, I think. So there is my very, my very poor little start. Yeah, I believe the carolers, the top of the carolers is day 7. So I started this one way behind everybody else as it was, because I was finishing up that piece for my grandma. And then I started this, I decided to go ahead and stitch it on 18 count Aida using 2 strands of thread, since this is just plain old white. I didn't dye it at all. So I've got, anyway, I'm using 2 strands of thread, and I don't know. I started it and I loved it. It was stitching up really, really nice. And then I got to the carolers and my stitches, I don't know, it's not going to pick it up here, but they just don't look right. And so I kind of lost steam. But it is super cute. Seeing everyone that has finished it, it is so cute. So I'll definitely get back to that and finish it. Hopefully before Christmas next year. Okay, so that was my only new start, and then I pulled out a few whips to work on. The first one I pulled out, I haven't really worked on it a lot lately, but this one I actually had commissioned the pattern from a designer on Etsy, Fangirl Stitches. I really wanted a Dragon Age Inquisition pattern, one with all of the characters in it, because that's one game that both my husband and I enjoy playing. I'm not much of a gamer, but for some reason I'm addicted to that game. So anyway, so I pulled that one back out and I started. Now, when the last time I showed this piece, I did have all 3, I think I had, yeah, I had all 3 of these characters finished. So I started in on the 4th one. And if you know the game at all, this would be Josephine that I am working on right now. So very cute. Definitely, this is definitely going into my pile of whips that I want to work on for 2018. So finally got some more stitches in on that. Then I decided that I really wanted to try and have a finish to end 2017, because I did that last year. I took a whip and I worked on it pretty much off and on the entire month of December, and I finished it right before the end of the year. So I wanted to try and do that again. So originally I picked up the Doreen Jones mermaid that I've been working on, and I thought for sure that this would be the one that I would try and finish for the end of the year. And I started putting in a few more stitches, basically working on her hair some more, but I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know. I love this. It's so pretty, and I really do want to have it finished. I don't know. Another piece was calling my name. So I took this one and I put it away, and I don't know why, but the moon phases, hold on, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm going to get weird angles here. I've got stuff everywhere. The moon phases from Little Stitcher Shop. Sorry, I always want to put a "the" in front of her shop name, but it's Little Stitcher Shop. And this is one that we've been doing a stitch along on Instagram. A very informal stitch along. You just use the hashtag moon phases SAL, and bam, you're in it. And so there's both patterns. And I am working on this one, which would be the full moon, or the, is that the waxing moon? Yeah, waxing moon. Okay. Anyway, now, I never in a million years thought that I'd be close to having this one finished before the end of the year. But look at that. Look at that. So the last time I showed this piece, I had the middle one finished, and I had maybe half of this one done. Yeah. All of the ladies are done now. All I have left, I just have to add in a few more moons down here, and then the final border. And then there's the little bit of text up here that says what? I think it says the moon phases up on the top. And again, the pretty fancy border. And then this one will be done. So I've got 2 days. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I will have this one finished before the end of the year. Like I said, did not expect to get that close on this one, but I can't put it down. I love it. I just love stitching on it. So we're going to go with it. And then I am planning, because this pattern, when you buy this pattern, you get 2 patterns. You get the full moon, or the waxing moon. Sorry, I can't talk. Or you get the new moon, I'm sorry, you get both. You get the full moon and the new moon, the waxing moon and the waning moon. And so I am going to stitch both. And I had originally planned on stitching them on the exact same fabric. In fact, I dyed another piece of fabric exactly the same as this, and you know, basically making them look the same. But I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make my other one look totally different on a different piece of fabric. So I'm even more excited to get this one finished so I can start the next one. So, all right, so that is what I worked on, stitching wise. Hold on, sorry. Okay. So that's, like I said, that's what I worked on stitching wise. Punch needle. Okay. So for Christmas, I got a new punch needle. I got a new medium needle, so I can now use 6 strands of thread. My old needle that I had bought had a burr in it, and it kept breaking the thread, so I got a new one. So I started a new piece called Believe, and this is from the 2015 issue of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And of course there's snowmen, so of course I have to start working on snowmen, right? Still need to work on my text. See, but it looks pretty good from the back, right? But my poor text on the front, just not doing so good. But my snowman came out cute. I like my snowman. And then I also got this really cool pair of scissors. And this is I'm using these for my punch needle basically, but they have a curve. I don't know if you can see. See? They're curved. And so when you need to cut the threads on the back, it works out really nice. And then you can also, as you're punching, sometimes you'll get a loop or whatnot that is a little bit higher than the rest, and so you can just trim that down. And so this works really nice because it sits on there really well. And you can get really close with these. So, love these. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite. Actually, no. My favorite gift is a non-stitching thing, but my husband bought me a heated blanket for Christmas. Best Christmas present ever, especially since it has been freezing here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Very, very cold. So I've been getting a lot of use out of that. So that was punch needle. Okay. So what else did I get as gifts? Well, I bought a couple magazines on eBay. Okay. So this one, I totally blame Candy from Candy Stitches. She got this magazine and she did a little flip through in her one of her last videos, and I had to have it. There are so many cute patterns in here that I want to stitch. Like these guys. How adorable are they? Seriously? So cute. So cute. And then there's Barbara Anna. Yeah. It's Barbara Anna. I have to have Barbara Anna. So, very cute magazine. Adding to my ever-growing list of things that I want to stitch. And then I got this magazine. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. This one is the January 2015 issue of Cross Stitch and Needlework. And this one is the May 2013 issue of Cross Stitch and Needlework. And the reason, I actually have a specific reason why I got this one. If I can find it. Okay, here it is. So I had mentioned in my last video that my husband suggested I should do another window for my aunt for Christmas for next year, and I should make hers a bird window. So I saw these patterns and I was like, oh, that would be perfect because these are all types of birds that we have up here in Michigan where we live. So, you know, it'd be perfect. So I'm going to, so there's 4. So I only need 6 patterns, so there's 4 out of the 6. So I think we're doing pretty good already. Now I gotta stitch all of them, but so how pretty. So that was the whole reason I got this magazine. But there's some other cute things in here too. So I got those. Okay, and then I have a few more things to show you guys, but I will show you that in a minute. Okay, so moving into my wrap up for 2017. It was a really good stitchy year. So I don't really keep notes per se. Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry, I told you guys, stuff everywhere. I kind of tend to track my progress and how I'm doing with my stitching through Instagram. I pretty much post every night after I finish working on something for the day. I put it away. I always take a picture first and then I post it. So I went through Instagram and I counted up the pieces that I finished. And rough, pretty close estimate, I had like 40 finishes for 2017. I'm shocked. I am shocked. Never in a million years did I think I would actually finish stitching that many pieces. Now, most of those aren't fully finished, but the stitching is finished. So I can go back and fully finish them at any moment. So I thought I pulled out a few that I don't think I have shown before. I tried to pull out ones that I have not shown before. So this one of my only Easter pieces that I think I've ever done. And this is a Mario Easter basket, and this is from Capes and Crafts on Etsy, which that store, Capes and Crafts, they are closing. So if you're interested in any patterns, head on over there. I don't know if they have this one available right now, but they have some really cute other patterns, a lot of cute Doctor Who patterns. So I love this. So I got to fully finish this one definitely before Easter this year because it's really cute. Okay, so I did that one, and then, oh, I did this one, which is Luck of the Irish, and this is from the April 2017 issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. I thought this one came out really cute, but I will say working on all of that green drove me crazy. So much green. I don't know if you want to look at the back. I try to keep my backs neat. This one is a disaster. Total disaster. Total disaster. Just so many color changes. But the front is cute, right? So it's all good. It's all good. I'm going to say, see if there's a comparison. See? Look, now look how neat that back is. So, yeah. Too many color changes. Okay. And last one is my little kiwis for the month of March. And this is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Fruit of the Month pattern. And I had planned on stitching all of these individually. I got one done. At least it's a good one. It's the month of March, which my son's birthday is in March. So, but these are adorable. So, added into my ever-growing pile of things that I need to stitch for 2018. Okay, so speaking of 2018, let's just move into that, right? Into my plans for 2018. Well, you guys probably, if you've been following me, and if you haven't, that's fine. Welcome. Thank you for joining me for the first time. But anyway, I am one that I suck at making plans. Okay? I think it's because I have so many schedule type things in my everyday life that cross-stitching is kind of one of those things that it's like, it's my hobby, it's my enjoyment, and I don't have to schedule anything if I don't want to. So these are very, very loose plans. But I bought a new notebook. Isn't this pretty? Isn't that pretty? I think it's a pretty notebook. And I'm going to try and keep sort of a stitchy journal. Probably not going to do much of one, but I figure I definitely have some plans of pieces that are going to need more hand-dyed or fancy flosses, so I want to keep track of them a little bit better, and so that I can kind of slowly purchase them. So I figure that'll come in handy. Alright, so I'll show you guys a couple other things that I bought, and the reason I'm showing you guys now. Alright, The reason I'm showing these now, these were a couple other little Christmas presents that I got, but I'm going to start a new piece on January 1st, and I picked out the piece I'm going to start, and that is going to be this one. It's called Cinderella, and this is from Little Stitcher Shop on Etsy. I have loved this pattern for so long, and so for this Christmas, I went ahead and got it. I cannot wait to start this. I'm like, okay, I can't start it now. Only 2 more days, and I don't have any fabrics. I have to coffee dye some fabric for it, so isn't that cute? I love that. So that one is going to be my first new start of 2018. And then I also got the other one that goes with it, which is Cinderella and her fairy godmother. Again, also from Little Stitcher Shop on Etsy. I swear one of these years, I think maybe next year, 2019, I'm just going to stitch everything in the Little Stitcher Shop. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to buy a pattern. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it, and then I'm just going to buy another pattern. And I swear, because like I love all of her patterns. And I think in 2020 I'll do the same thing with primitive hair. Because again, I love all of her patterns too. So that is my first start for 2018. And then, so what else do I have planned for 2018? Okay. I really want to start the Heritage Sampler from Plum Street Samplers. My husband had commented that, oh, maybe 2018 we should get going on working on the patriotic wall. So, alright, yes, hint taken, I need to do that. But a lot of the patterns that I have for the patriotic wall are in need of some fancy flosses. So, I'm going to have to start making a list, and we'll start picking up some fancy flosses. Then I went through, oh, sorry, before, speaking of the patriotic wall, I want to finish this one. This is the Gadsden flag, and I want to finish this one for my husband. So this is definitely on my pile of things that I need to work on in the new year. And then one other whip that I want to work on is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is the first National Parks pattern that they did. But this was done, yeah, in 2016. I want to stitch this for my aunt. I had planned on doing this for her for Christmas back in 2016. Obviously, I did not get it done. Didn't get it done this year either. I don't know. This is stitched on 16 count Aida. I'm not a huge fan of 16 count. I don't know why. I can stitch on 18 count. I can stitch on 14 count. But for some reason, 16 count, I don't know, it makes to me, my stitches look weird. I don't know. But I started out really, really strong on this one, and then it just all fell apart. But I'm hoping maybe I could have this done for her by her birthday. Her birthday's in May. So if I get this one done by May, then I may go ahead and buy the next pattern, because they have a new National Parks pattern that they released this past year. And maybe I will stitch that for them I'll stitch that for her for Christmas. I don't know. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But I'm gonna try and get this one done. And I still have to go through some of my other whips and see other pieces that I want to finish. So, like I said, not really any huge concrete plans. I just want to stitch. I want to stitch more, work less. No, I would love to do less housework, but I don't think that's going to happen. But stitch more. I want to do a lot more punch needle. And then the big main goal of 2018, I am going to learn to use my sewing machine. Bought myself a sewing machine last year for Christmas. I have not learned how to use it yet. So I'm going to learn how to use my sewing machine. So if anyone has any really good tutorials for a very, 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 very beginner sewing machine, I mean, seriously people, I think I know how to turn the sewing machine on. Okay, and I'm not joking here. Okay, so if you have any tutorials that you can think of that would be good for me, go ahead and link those below. I will be forever grateful. So I think that's about it. So thank you guys so much for this for a fantastic, well, let's see, I haven't been here the full year. I've been on Flosstube since August. But thank you guys so much for joining me in my videos, for subscribing to my channel, for liking my videos, for leaving comments. I appreciate it so much. I absolutely love this community. It's been so much fun to be part of, and I look forward to what the new year will bring. And I hope everyone has a really safe, happy, wonderful new year. And I look forward to seeing what you guys are going to be stitching. So, bye everybody!